Okay, hello all of you lovely students. Welcome to Mathematics Lesson 1, Grade 10, Chapter 3. Let's begin. So, in this lesson you will learn first, what are like terms, then how to add and subtract some expressions, some algebraic expressions, and lastly we will practice by doing some examples and exercises. So, let's begin with like terms. More importantly, let's begin with a question. What does our term mean? Does anybody know? Well, a term can be just a number by itself, like 4, 12, 35, and so on, or a number accompanied by a variable, which is a letter that stands for an unknown number, so we don't know it yet. But it can be x to the power of 2, so simplified it's x times x, or c, or y cubed, that it's just y times y times y, or the variable xy. And so, as a result, terms are just numbers by themselves like 1, or a number with a variable like 4x squared, or 12c, or 35y to the power of 3, and so on, or 50xy. Now, let's understand what are like terms. So, like terms have to have the same variables and power. Are terms that have to have the same variables and power. Therefore, they can be combined. So, let's look at an example. Here we have two terms, and they both have the variable x to the power of 1. So, they are like terms. Another example is 10y to the power of 3 plus 2y to the power of 3. They are like terms because they have the same variable and the same power. So they can be combined. Now let's go ahead and combine them. 12 plus 2, you add the coefficients, the numbers in the front, so 2 plus 12, 14. And then you add the variable, 14x. And for the second terms, 10 plus 2, 12, and then you add the variable. It's simple. Now let's look at an algebraic expression and determine if it has like terms. So here we have an expression with 4 terms, and as you can see, the first term and the last term have the same variable and power, x squared and x squared. So these are like terms. Another example would be this expression, which is full of like terms because they all have the variable x to the power of 1. Now another example could be this expression that has two groups of like terms. The first two terms have the same variable, 4x squared and 4x squared, and the last two terms are like terms as well because they don't have any variables nor powers. Now, let's learn how to add and subtract algebraic expressions and do some examples to practice. So, example number 1, we have a very simple expression. You will see in a minute. We have 6 terms, 5a minus 2b plus 4 minus 3a minus 4b minus 6. And now the first step, always remember, it's to find the like terms. So here we have 5a minus 3a are like terms because they have the variable a. Then we have 6 and 4 as like terms, and last but not least, negative 2b and negative 4b. So now we have to solve the like terms. First, we have the like terms in red. 5a minus 3a equals 2a because we just subtract 5 minus 3, 2, and the variable they share, a. Now the second like terms, you have negative 2b minus 4b. When you have two negative terms, you're going to add them and the answer will be negative. I don't know if you know this. So the answer will be negative 6 because 2 plus 4, negative is negative 6b. And last but not least again, 4 minus 6 equals negative 2 because if you subtract 4 minus 6, it's 2. But since the bigger number has the negative sign, you are going to keep the sign of the bigger number, so negative 2. And the answer will be the combination of all of the like terms solved. So 2a minus 6b minus 2 is your answer. Now, it's easy, right? So let's look at another example. This is a very big expression, but don't worry, you will solve it in no time. So we have negative 2xy plus 2x plus 5y minus 6xy minus 5x plus 2y plus xy. Now the first step, remember, it's to find the like terms. So we have negative 2xy, negative 6xy, and xy as like terms because they have the same variable. Then we have 2y and 5y, and then we have negative x and 2x. So let's start solving the like terms. First, the terms in red. So negative 2 minus 6, you add them, negative 8 because they are negative. So negative 8 plus 1, we have a 1 here. Negative 8 plus 1, you subtract, so it's negative 7. And then your answer is negative 7xy. Now the like terms in blue, I think. No, in gray. 2x minus 5x equals negative 3x because we keep the sign of the bigger number. So, last but not least, we have the terms in blue, 5 plus 2, 7, and then the variable y. We then add all of the like terms we just solved, and the answer will be negative 7xy minus 3x plus 7y. Now, let's look at another example. This expression has 6 terms. 4x squared plus 4x minus 2 minus 6x squared minus 6x minus 4. Now, the first step, remember like terms. So, 4x squared and negative 6x squared are like terms, then negative 4 and negative 2, and then 4x and negative 6x. So, let's combine them. The first terms, we subtract 4 and 6 and we get negative 2x squared. And then we have 4 minus 6 again. The answer is negative 2, but with an x because that's a variable they share. And last but not least, 2 minus 4, you add and the answer will be negative, so 6, negative 6. And the answer, it's just all of the terms combined, negative 2x squared minus 2x minus 6. So, in this lesson, we learned what terms are, how to identify like terms, and how to solve algebraic expressions by adding or subtracting. And in the next video, you will complete a group assignment to get your practice going and understand this topic better. Thanks for watching and see you next time.